everyone for your patience. Yet another strange Google thing with invites not going through as expected, but thank you all for your patience. And thank you for coming to our meeting, the first one in about a month here. I appreciate your patience and showing up. And I have an agenda for today, but rather than follow it, line by line, I just kind of like to pick up where we left off about a month ago, because there's some good financial updates from our last meeting to this one. At our meeting in early January, there was an opportunity for Bante to visit Asia, and it unfortunately seemed like an inopportune time for the organization to support such a trip at that moment. It appeared that our donations from supporters had just sharply fallen in quite a period of time, about a month ago. And we weren't quite sure what that meant, and weren't quite sure where we stood financially and in terms of supporting the organization. But quite a bit has happened since then. We found out, long story short, that due to just a glitch on our own end, on our support page, apparently some retro coding was accidentally placed on our support page, which was causing our donations to go to an old PayPal account. And Jeff figured that one out, our PayPal detective there. He found out that our current donations were going to an old, unused, obsolete Sirimangalo PayPal account. And the good news is the money was safe and sound there. Donations were being given, support was being given during that six-week period of time when it looked like no one was caring about the organization anymore. And all that money is safe and sound, and fortunately an early supporter of the organization helped us out by transferring the money to our current PayPal account. And it represented about $1,200 US, which is actually really good for a period of time that we weren't running any sort of a fundraising campaign. And tales of PayPal continue. There was another old PayPal account of Sirimangalo International, which was locked, seized by PayPal quite a few years ago, I think back in 2010. And more recently, PayPal is actually the subject of a class action lawsuit for seizing and restricting people's PayPal accounts during a period of time, which included the period of time that the Sirimangalo account was seized and restricted from use. So they actually sent out the email themselves to alert people. I shared that with Jeff, and wondered briefly if we might have to become a part of the class action suit to get the Sirimangalo funds. But fortunately, it seemed a little easier than that. PayPal now has some very limited ways that people can remove their money from their restricted accounts. And as far as we can tell, we were able to move that money off. It was about $630, not a huge amount, but it was support from early supporters, and PayPal didn't have any right to it. So from what we can tell, we have been able to withdraw those funds, and they should be issuing us a check. It should be received within the next week or two. So those were two small but inspiring things that happened financially. But the other thing is we started our new campaign, and we've used UCaring again. They seem to be a good platform for us. And UCaring has actually changed the way they do the fundraising. They no longer recommend that organizations like ours put in a deadline. They used to recommend like a 90-day period of time to do fundraising, and they now don't recommend that. They simply recommend that you put up your fundraiser and just leave it there indefinitely. And that may work very well for us, because certainly none of us are professional fundraisers to know when is the best 90-day period of time or anything like that. I mean, we don't know what we're doing. We're just good people trying to help support the monastery. So it seems like it's going to be a lot easier. We have our fundraiser posted as of early February, and in about 2.5 weeks, over $7,000 in support was given. So that's, if we were wondering if people were going to be interested in continuing to support the monastery, I think $7,000 in 2.5 weeks is, pretty much a resounding yes. Very nice comments given with a lot of the support. Very encouraging, and very thankful for what the whole organization is trying to do to support the monastery and keep the monastery going, and especially, support for and gratitude for what Bante does to reach out to the internet audience in particular. So just to kind of come full circle from where we started, all in all, the organization has received, between the online fundraiser and the two PayPal, cleaning up the two PayPal issues, about $9,000 since we last met, which is a good amount of money. That's certainly enough to pay for the monastery's basic expenses through August, which is the end of our lease, and there's no reason at this point to think that support wouldn't continue to be available, beyond that. So I'd like to go back and revisit where we were a month ago with the idea of having the organization support airfare to Bante, to a trip to Asia for Bante. I think that is something that we're just in a different position now. We're not in that position that we were a month ago, and I would like to revisit that. If I'm understanding the timing correctly, there may be a limited period of time, because, Bante, please correct me if I'm wrong, but you're in school through middle or end of May?
No, mid-April I'll be done.
Oh, mid-April. Oh, that's good. And then the rain starts early July?
Haven't checked. Mid-July usually.
Mid-July?
Could be early July, could be early August.
Okay. In either case, by the time the rains is done, you're back in school, I believe. So.
If I go back.
Oh. If you go back. But if you do plan to go back, perhaps May or June might be a favorable time. Is that something that might work?
Well, I just don't want to do anything that.
Bante, I think we seem to have lost audio and video for a moment. Anya, there.
I think I've seized up. Garbage. Hello? Oh, hello? Hello?
We can hear you now. I can see and hear you now. I couldn't see and hear you before.
Yeah, this device is not very good.
Oh. I was just wondering if...
Somehow it's very slow.
Oh. I was just wondering if the period of May, June might be optimal, with the assumption, well, with figuring that you might or probably will return to school. Would that be the best time?
Yeah, I just don't want to cause problems for the monastery.
Well, I don't think
we're not. It's not like we're in a comfortable place as far as having excess support or extravagant support.
We're not in an uncomfortable place either. That's the nice thing. Particularly
Jeff,
with...
is she right, Jeff?
Well, I sort of have a different perspective. I think
I thought you might.
Yeah, the monies that have come in with the through the crowdfunding has been amazing. But I think there's one very important thing to consider regarding that, is that of the 7,000 US that's come in, 4,000 US has come in from 2 people. So I think it's probably fair to say we can't expect these people to donate us $2,000 US on a regular basis.
No.
So I think long term we should really consider those monies to be, one-time gifts, which is wonderful, awesome of those people who are looking. Thank you, watching. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone else who's given monies. But I think a fair estimate right now is this fundraiser has raised approximately $3,000 US, which is about a month and a half worth of expenses.
No.
And
Well, there's also the question, Jeff, of how often these one-time donations come in.
Well, exactly. That's my point.
I mean, no, but not from one person, but how often are we getting these? It doesn't seem like it's just necessarily a one-off surprise event.
No, Jeff,
well,
that's 7,300.
sorry.
That's U.S. That's not Canadian. That's U.S.
That's correct, yes. So 4,000 of it U.S. has come from 2 people.
Yes.
So 3,000 U.S. has come from others. And it's true, we've received large donations from other people. But I think we need to be conservative about what this truly means. I don't think we can expect to receive $7,000 in 2 weeks every time that we do a fundraiser. That seems like a lot to me. And so even as it stands right now, with all the monies we've received, we're basically good until about November.
Right.
So there's not an excess amount of money there. It seems like a lot, but it really isn't. We have $25,000 right now in all of our accounts, and we're burning through $3,000 a month. So
3,000 Canadian, roughly.
Yeah, we have 25,000 Canadian in the bank. So I still think we're struggling personally, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean that's certainly fair comments. We definitely wouldn't expect to receive, $7,300 every 2 weeks. Of course not. But the main question in my mind is, would people respond to a second campaign to continue to support the fundraiser? And they have. I mean, regardless of whether it's fewer people with bigger donations or more people with smaller donations. I mean, there definitely is support there.
There is support. Basically what I'm saying is, to keep the organization going with the expenses we presently have, we need to raise $35,000 Canadian a year.
Mm-hmm.
So at the pace that we're going, I don't think we're at that $35,000 mark. We're probably closer to 25. And I hope I'm wrong. Maybe the next time we do a fundraiser, there's another 2 people that provide us with huge sums.
Well, that's the thing. There's not going on and off with the fundraiser. Now you just leave it up. It's just there, which it's something we just promote it as we see fit, and people support it as they see fit. But it's not. You don't take it up or down. It's just there. It's permanent.
I agree. I guess what I'm saying is that in the last week or so, we've probably been averaging $60 or $70 a day, and that's basically what we spend on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, going forward, it's hard to imagine that 2 months from now we'll still be receiving $70 a day, given that fundraiser's been up, everyone's seen it. People, the vast majority of the community has made a decision about whether or not they want to provide funds. I mean, like I say, I hope I'm wrong, but I think at this point in time we really need to be pretty conservative and assume that we're really not at a place where, we could just say sign another lease for $1,600 a month and wouldn't have any problems. Because at this point in time, I'd say there's a risk. I don't know what the probability is, but there's definitely a risk that at this point in time that we wouldn't be able to fulfill the whole lease from September to next August. We may run into a position where we would have to sublet sometime in the spring or something. I'm sure we're good till spring, but are we good till next August? Personally, I have no idea.
What do you mean, August 2016 or August 2017?
August 2016.
No.
August 2017. We're certainly good for the rest of this year. We're good now. We have enough money in the bank now to pay all our bills until probably the end of November.
Okay, I guess we're probably just going to have to agree that time will tell and just see how things go. I mean, I think it's just a different concept when you don't take your fundraiser down. We have it up, and I gently let people know about it, entering it as a comment on video, things like that.
All your comments are flagged as spam,
But they're only flagged to you as spam. They're still visible accessible to other people.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think. I mean, if anybody wants to check on.
What I did now is I've subscribed to you, and I
Okay.
think that may have helped.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, if anybody wants to just check and see, fun pages and videos.
And I've marked a lot of them as not spam, or a few of them as not spam anyway, so we should probably see going forward, like last night's. Did you put it on last night's?
No, I actually just got home like moments
Okay, well, if you do it on like last night's, and then I can check and see whether it's getting marked. Yeah.
Sure.
So, I mean, I just wanted to say I'm not sure about going. I mean, absolutely who doesn't want a vacation to Thailand, but it does seem a little bit extravagant to me.
Well, maybe we can just put it on hold for a month and see,
Okay.
and just see. It'll make Jeff sleep easier at night. I'm ready to say, go for it.
Well, the other thing is, if you're just talking about the concerns that Jeff has in general, I'm not that concerned about them. Well, not at all, really, but I don't think there's as much need to be concerned about them, Jeff, because people are supporting this not because we're asking for it, but because they want to see it continue. So if there's the appearance that it is continuing, people stop donating. If there's the appearance that we're in trouble, then people will start donating. And sorry, not just the appearance, if we are in trouble, and it's clear that we're in trouble. Arun, I think you're echoing all of us, are you? Hello? Is that a problem for anyone? No. Okay. So what I mean to say is that at the point when we need, if we do start getting into trouble, it seems like really all we have to do is let everyone know, and our community is happy to help.
That does seem to be the case.
I don't foresee a problem unless people start getting fed up with us or bored of my teachings. I don't know how that's working. Maybe people are starting to get bored of what I'm teaching, going on to find new monks.
I think you make a good point, Bhante. Maybe to help with that would be to provide more financial information to people who are looking at donating. Because I don't think there's ever been the financials have never been put on the website. I don't think we've ever emailed our supporter list the financials.
Well, I don't know that that's really necessary, because at this point we're okay. But suppose in August or June, July, we say, hey, look, we're going to try to do this again for another year. If you want it, it will only happen if everyone comes together and supports it for another year. And then we just do what we did last year. It seems to be reasonable. I don't envision that being a problem. I can't imagine a case where that, unless people get, as I said, I don't know. I mean, as long as, the way things stand now, it seems like we have enough keen interest and support in continuing. And if we don't, as I've said before, then we just stop and we don't do it. Seems more reasonable in terms of stress levels and concern and all these ideas. To just do it like that. And we'll say, okay, when the time comes that we need to try that for another year, we'll make a choice. Is there enough support? If there's not, we quit. If there is, we keep going. And everyone feels okay about it. They don't feel like we're bugging them about money, or that we have a sort of a hidden agenda of when I teach or when we talk, when we meet or whatever, like that, hey, do these people want money from me? It's clear that we don't, right? No. And then it's clear that we don't. So I don't know if that has much to do with me going to Thailand or Asia, but it may, because in order to go to Thailand, we're kind of like looking for money now. So it might be a good idea to do it the same way, to say, hey, why am I going to Asia? And do people want to support that? And we do some kind of announcement for that and see what kind of support comes in. But personally, I'm not yet convinced that we have any valid reason to make people want to get me a ticket to Thailand. I don't know what you guys think of that.
Well, the idea in my mind was that the timetable is coming up quickly. If you do return to McMaster, it seems like, in general, for the next however many years you're a student, it seems like May, June is probably your most favorable time to go, unless you feel that you have enough time at the Christmas holiday time. That's another idea too. But if May, June is the best time, so that you can spend a significant, because I think you were going to try to go and come back within a week, and that's tough, to make such a short trip. So if May, June is the best time, it's something that we want to probably decide on sooner than later, just so you could make arrangements, because that's coming up soon. But
right,
and it would be tough to wait a whole year. But maybe we can just revisit it in a month from now. That would still give plenty of time to purchase tickets and so forth if the decision was to.
Is Sanka here? Is Sanka with us? I guess he's disappeared. Huh?
Sanka? No, Sanka's not generally in the group. He's in our study group after this, if you had a question.
Yeah, maybe I'll talk to him. I mean, if I'm going to Asia, it would make sense to go to Sri Lanka as well.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe maybe he's interested in organizing some things in Sri Lanka.
That would be nice. Okay,
It would be good to make one trip, just to have that meeting with Ajahn Tong about our new monastery. Oh, here's something for y'all. May is the Buddha's birthday. And in Mississauga every year we have this celebration of the Buddha's birthday. And I've been contacted. It didn't even cross my mind. Robin, you're echoing me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It doesn't bother me, but I'm afraid it might be disturbing. I don't know if you... Yeah, maybe that. So they contacted me. It didn't even cross my mind, but they contacted me to ask if we wanted to have a booth, because each monastery has a booth. I didn't even realize, it didn't click that, oh, we've got a monastery. But each monastery can have a booth there. I think you need to pay $300 for it, or something like that. So we're going to have a meeting March 7th, I think, and I'll find out more about that. But I'm assuming we want to go ahead and do that. Maybe I can do the 5-minute meditation lesson there. Something I've always wanted to do at that thing is to have a meditation tent, so maybe that's something we can do.
I think that would be a great way of getting the word out to your local community that you're there. Mm-hmm. And probably some handouts, if you decide, that's something you'd like to do, probably some handouts would be great. I mean, everything online is great, but when people are walking around, to be able to give them a card or a flyer or a handout of some kind.
Well, I got my booklets. I usually just give out a booklet, but
oh,
yeah,
sure.
Right. We should have something about the monastery, right?
Right, unless, at the very least, maybe put an address label sticker in or on the book. But probably better to have a flyer to say where you're located and, and whatever, events and programs you might be inviting people to.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good idea. And that, speaking of events at the monastery, that kind of segues us into, we wanted to touch on the meetup groups, the Saturday Day of Mindfulness. Just a couple things. To be affiliated with Meetup, they do charge a small amount for the Meetup, to have a profile on Meetup. It's about $180 per year US, not a huge amount. And if that's something that is working out well, it's worth doing. But we're wondering your thoughts on how it's going.
Well, it's not drawing in crowds of people, but it does seem to be drawing in the odd person every so often.
Okay. Is there any way that we can maybe rewrite the description of it? It's been the same description for some time. and we were thinking maybe to freshen it up and maybe make it just a little more tailored to so people would know what to expect when they go.
Well, there's not much. I mean, I teach people meditation and then they meditate. So people have been coming in whenever they want, or they call first maybe, but I think people were kind of expecting a bit more of a program, but I don't really have that. And then at 3 o'clock, I'm now teaching on the internet. It's on Second Life.
So that's a couple things then. Shall we shorten the day to 9 to 2:30, so that there's no? I'm just thinking if people show up later in the day and are disappointed that you're not available at 3 o'clock or whatever. If somebody came right at that time, maybe we just shorten the day to 9 to 2:30. Would that be reasonable?
We can say 9 to 3. That's fine.
9 to 3. Okay. And shall we present it as you'll receive a short meditation lesson and the rest of the day will be meditate on your own, or is there some sort of a program, or?
No, I mean, that's basically it.
Okay.
Depending how you want to say that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a way of saying it, I think, that just makes it, so people will understand what the day is like. Mm-hmm. And probably if we say, short meditation lesson and the rest of the day is meditate on your own, I mean, people can meet their friends there, or have the use of the monastery, I presume, to meditate.
Yeah, you might also put that they can come throughout the week as well on appointment or drop in. Okay.
Samantha had done some tweaking of the description. Samantha, I never had a chance to read the changes that you made. It was overnight meditation weekend at Watla here, so I haven't been home until just shortly before this meeting.
Yeah, I've put in that people can drop in between 6 and 10 p.m. So I've also put in that Bante will give a short introduction to meditation, and people can then meditate on their own. So they're taking the offset that it won't be a whole day of events.
Yes, which can be very nice because, maybe somebody who's had a busy week would just love to just sit there and do their own thing for the morning or the whole day or whatever. Just because we're kind of running a little short on time, Tina, I know you have some things going on. You mailed out the robe? You're muted at the moment.
I sent out the robe on Friday, so it will take 6 to 10 business days to arrive. So it's probably 2 weeks. Awesome. And the spring starts.
Well, that's okay. It might be a cold spring.
It takes so long.
That's the outer robe, right?
Tina.
You're welcome. I'm happy to do it.
That was quite a project.
Yeah, it's super heavy. My table is not big enough. I have to roll it up as like a big roll and then move little by little to sew it. And after the wool and the outer rope has sewed together, it's really heavy to carry. Mm-hmm. I don't know when you wear it. It's like a big blanket.
Mm-hmm.
That would be nice for winter. And you've been doing a lot with the food for meditators. Just to kind of catch everybody up, there's a full schedule of meditators, which is 2. I mean, it's a max of 2 just due to space concerns. So there's a max of 2 meditators right through, I think, through the middle of May or so, which is great.
Yeah.
And Tina and Aruna have put together a volunteer wish list for food items and miscellaneous items for the meditators. And has that been working out okay?
So far, there are a couple of canned food items that has been sent through Amazon.Canada's website, and the rest of the accessory, I haven't seen it has been sent.
I think that some of the things were partially fulfilled. Like you had, if you look at it, you had like you needed 6 of each items, and I think some people had picked like 1 of those. So your whole item isn't fulfilled, but I think some of the components are. If you take a look. So we were thinking, and I just wanted to just shoot this out real quick. There's actually 3 wish lists involved, and I wasn't sure about one of them. There's always been Bante's wish list for things that he uses for the broadcast or whatever he needs or is aware of that the monastery needs. And then there's the one that Tina and Aruna just created for basically for meditator food or miscellaneous things that we're aware of that we don't want to bother Bante to put on his list. Then there's one called Sirimangalo International Monastery wish list, and it doesn't have anything on it. Does anyone know who created that list? If it's new or old or anything?
Yeah, that was in Winnipeg.
So that's an old list. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Do you know who created it, or?
Yeah, I think Mogaraja did.
Okay. I wonder if we have access. I'm just, I was putting in search words because I was trying to find Tina's wish list, and I came across that one, and I just thought it's a little confusing maybe if, because we have 2 different lists now, and maybe people are going to do the same thing I did, put in search words and come up with that and say, oh, all their wishes are fulfilled. There's nothing on the list. Is this a person that anyone has contact with that might be willing to remove it? Maybe it's not a big deal, but
yeah, I probably have his email address.
it's a little thing in the grand scheme of things. But if it's not being used at all, it might just make it less confusing for people that are trying to find the actual lists that we have. And Aruna, you've been doing some grocery shopping for the meditators for breakfast items and things. You there, Aruna?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So, but you're also planning on, at some point, moving out of the monastery, is that correct?
Yeah, I was planning by next week, in the February, I was, but could be like next month,
Sometime.
March.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just before you move, we got to do a couple things. We have to transition all the things that you're doing, figure out what you're doing and someone else is going to be able to do them. And then all the grocery things that you've been buying, got to communicate with Tina so she can put it on like a grocery gateway list, I would think.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, we're doing right now that thing almost, yeah, Tina, yeah, it's still some, maybe. So, yeah, for sure, I'm doing, to make the gap, instead of I'm doing some, even I'm away, I can do what I do. Yeah.
I'm just trying to look at it.
Yeah, Aruna had let me know that what kind of breakfast he usually get and some other things that he ordered for breakfast.
Yeah, so if you 2 can communicate and kind of get a general list of what's needed.
Yeah, we can, yeah, for sure, anytime. We can, right now we also doing that. I already informed Tina what I know and then what I'm buying for breakfast and then some other toiletry and then other items. That's fine. I think.
Okay, just a couple of real small items.
Yeah, I think we have to inform something to meditators. Once they come here, maybe let's say for every, if I'm away, then that way it's going to be helpful for Bante too, because let's say removing garbage and then maybe some like shoveling. Maybe right now we don't have snow, I think, but sometime it's not coming, right? Just last 2 days snow. But we had to shovel, I think, last week 2 times. Some little thing. And then maybe if I saw some meditators, I think some, they forget or somehow to, clean their blanket somehow, put into the washer and dryer somehow. But these are little things. But I mean, since I'm here, it's not a thing. I can just put into the washer and dryer and then put it back. But but I don't think Bante have time to look at these and then.
That's exactly it, yeah. And if you're planning to move out within a month or so, we really need to get a list of what you're doing now, what the needs are. And Bante, as far as meditators are concerned, what are your thoughts of them helping out with around the house? You want to keep that at a minimum, or?
Oh no, they are. We've already talked about that, and they've done a little bit of shoveling already.
Okay.
They can take the garbage out, that kind of thing.
The meditators are shoveling?
Yep.
Oh, good. Okay.
No, I mean, it's only been a couple of times, but they have, and I'm started to tell them to clean before they leave, which I should have been doing before, but.
Okay, because we have the frequently asked questions, and I want to update it so that it's correct, because what I have on it at the moment was that because this is an intensive course, you won't be asked to do household chores, but I should change that to say you may be asked just basic things.
No cooking, I don't, if possible. But.
Okay. And then would it be useful at all to have those FAQs printed out? We were thinking of things that might be helpful for meditators, just having like the rules and the FAQs printed out for them when they arrive, or would that be a waste? I don't know how many people actually read those things on the website before they arrive.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you think it's important information, good.
Okay.
It's just more work.
Is there a printer there?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we don't necessarily have to give them to people to bring home. If we just leave one in the room, or even get a plastic cover to make it clear that it's something to be left there for the next person to see, or a frame or a plastic cover of some sort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll look on. I'm sorry, I'm echoing somebody. I'll look on Amazon.
I mean, in general, it's fine. I mean, we don't have actually problem, but I'm concerned if I'm maybe in case it's depend on the meditator, because they are in a busy schedule and then they don't have time, or somehow it's depend on the person, people. I mean, everybody nice. I mean, they sometimes ask, they forget sometimes. They ask, oh, what should I do before I leave? Or should I clean everything or whatever? And then sometimes they ask. But sometimes they forget, oh, they couldn't clean their own. Some, I mean, but it's not a big thing. But I think it's not, cannot, it's okay. Because even, let's say, because we have some extra blankets and so on. Right? So if you have remaining, I mean, not clean stuff, then we can ask from the new meditator saying something. I mean, it's not a thing, I think. Say.
But yeah,
anyway, I'm just because we cannot accept perfectly everything, because
No.
Because I mean, we have not mistake. I mean, we might forget, and then it be possible, because different type,
Well, that's what I'm thinking. We just get something printed out.
You know what? I think that right now, I think the May used to come every week. So we can ask something May to look at everything. Whether it's something is I think she's fine, because she like to do anything, because
she's already making all the food for the meditators. I don't know if it's good to ask her to clean up after the meditative.
Oh, no cleaning. I mean, no cleaning is not a problem. I mean, something simple thing, just to make sure, and then I'm just thinking. I don't know.
But we're running out of time. We have only a couple of minutes. We can talk about that through Slack a little more.
Okay.
But if we can kind of just clarify it and print out some things for the meditation, say no. Here's like the checklist of things you do before you leave. Because if you look at the calendar, the meditators, one is coming virtually the same day one is leaving. So there's not really time in between.
Yeah, sometime like that. Sometime.
They're just going to be there right away. So
actually, the thing is, sometime like I'm thinking like about the breakfast and then kind of food, because see some meditators they're shifting like as you said, someone coming and someone leaving, and then in between that, like I'm just trying to figure out, oh, this person is not interesting for, let's say, yogurt or something, and then I'm not going to buy, right? So the next meditator coming, he might interested. So then there might be that possibility to wait something, but again we cannot, So it could be possible, like a little bit wasting some food, but it's possible, even. The thing is, actually, if they inform, like, or if they say something, oh, I'm not interested that much, or again, we cannot ask them about food and so, right? According to Bhante, they should accept what we are giving, right?
Yep. And obviously we try to take people's, food needs into account as well. It's not going to be perfect, with anticipating exactly what people want. Just doing the best we can.
Yeah.
I just want to
sorry.
Just a couple other things real quick because we're running into the time where our study group starts. Bhante, is there a charge for the Mumble server?
The what?
The Mumble server?
No, it's on our server. We're paying $50 a month for everything. So.
Oh, okay, so there's nothing separate from Mumble. That's really good because I know our study group it's actually our 1-year anniversary this weekend. So I thought, oh, maybe that server the Mumble had been purchased for the study group. I didn't know because it's normally a couple $100 per year. So that's great to know that there's no charge for that.
That's just when they set it up for you. It's actually just a Linux program. So.
Oh, okay.
All you need is a Linux server to set Mumble up. Murmur is the server. The server's called Murmur.
Yes, but if you just go and purchase one through the company, you pay a couple $100 per year for a server.
All they do is set up a virtual server.
It's good to have an IT monk teacher. And the last thing is, and this is really kind of a big issue. I'm sure we'll want to have a separate meeting on this between Anthony and Jeff. The treasurer responsibilities are transitioning over to Jeff, and it's the timeline on that and how complete the move is. That's something that you guys can update us on as you go along. But do you want to have any sort of a meeting? Do you need myself or Bhante as part of a meeting, or is everything just working out between you two?
I think it's fine.
Everything's okay? Okay.
Yeah, I'm working with Anthony on finding some missing receipts for the last couple.
Oh yeah, I have to talk to you about those receipts. That's a huge list that I thought we already had, and it's going to be a bit of a headache trying to get them again. But
Anthony did find the receipts for the robes, so you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And then,
well, I'll look into the rest. I have to actually be at McMaster to access my. They won't let me access it from a remote location, so I have to go to McMaster and connect there.
I guess the other big thing is a contact maybe in Sri Lanka for the person who manufactured those.
Yeah, what happened with that? I didn't have anything to do with that. Who?
Sanka did that, right? The DVD?
No, the books.
Oh, well, Sanka took care of. Sanka was kind of the middleman for having the books printed, but wasn't he also the facilitator for the DVDs?
Oh, you're talking about the DVDs?
Yeah.
Oh, did you get a receipt for the book?
Yeah, that we had, Sanka had sent me a receipt and I shared it on Slack, I believe. If not, let me know because I
Yes,
definitely
no,
have
I have that. I have that receipt, Robin.
Okay, well, can somebody call Sanka and ask him about the DVDs?
We're going to be meeting on. He's in our study group. We'll see him in like a minute.
If you could update me on that, Robin, that'd be great.
Pardon?
If you could update me on that, that would be great.
Yes, I will.
I think we wired him money, or whoever, we wired someone money, and we wired $700 and some Canadian back in January of 2015.
Okay.
So that's the timeline.
Okay, I will ask Sanka about that in like 1 minute as we get in study group. And the other issues that you two will be working on is determining where the head office will be and where the papers will be located and whether it's feasible to go paperless. And you guys have all kinds of stuff to decide and let us know about.
Yeah, keep me updated.
Okay. So does the once a month meeting, does that seem okay for everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, I think the weeklies. Yeah, the weeklies were getting. I mean, there wasn't enough to do, for a weekly, but maybe monthly is good. Was there anything else? Oh, Brenna, I just want to say thank you so much, Brenna, for answering all those emails. Brenna is incredibly patient with answering emails, mostly for people who actually want to meditate at Chamtong. And there's a website, a Chamtong website that lists Sirimangalo International as it lists it as their website. So that's why we're getting all this, people contacting our organization to
Are you still talking about dhammatai.org?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, well, because I contacted them one time and they put it up, and then I contacted them about 10 times over the years when I was in Chiang Mai, when I was in other places, and they never took it down.
No, I sent a message through Facebook because I couldn't actually even find a contact me on the website, so I sent a message through their Facebook. No response at all, so I don't, maybe English is an issue, I don't really know, but it's unfortunate because it seems like that's going to be a steady thing with people, and it's wasting their time, wasting those people's times that they're just contacting completely the wrong organization. It's unfortunate, but maybe we can keep an eye on that, see if anything happens. But thank you, Brenna, for answering all those emails.
Yeah, no problem. I think we do now have the right phone number.
I think so.
I think it's right, so hopefully they're not giving people the incorrect information anymore.
If we are, we'll hear about it. But yeah. No, I called that number. I was calling. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning their time when I was calling, so I'm glad I didn't wake anybody up, but it seemed to be the correct location.
Okay, good.
All righty. Okay, well, thank you all very much. We got to scoot over to study group, some of us. But we'll keep in touch through Slack, and thank you all. And if anything else comes up, just post it in Slack, and we'll take care of it.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.